Hello, and welcome to an episode of Jabba in the Hut. I have not done one of these in about probably months and months and months and months and months. So this is me just basically just coming on here because I'm bored and I want to have an opinion on obviously what's happening at Celtic right now. I am absolutely freezing my man tits off in the bar, and I just felt the need to come out because I've not done it in so long. So today a terrible performance. I didn't really see the game, to be honest. I just heard the result and then I seen all the thoughts and all the opinions on it afterwards, and it's something that I was expecting, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, we were going to win that, because Celtic's performances recently have been absolutely gash. They've been absolutely terrible, and they haven't been performing very well. And it's, to me, it's down to bad recruitment, obviously. It's also down to the board. It's down to the board and the negligence of everything, from not being able to communicate with fans, basically, and understand the needs and what the fans want. In my opinion, it's all started because if you give the fans what they want, which is Champions League qualification and progression in Champions League competition, like last year, we did pretty well in the Champions League, I have to say. So, but unfortunately, obviously, we went out to Bayern Munich in the dying minutes of a game that we fought hard for, and we had a balanced team ethic and team game in that game. But we're talking about past events. But what I'll say is you can't give the fans the progression that they've wanted for quite a long time, and then just suddenly take it away from them because you can't recruit players or you can't scout players, and you get players in that you've been scouting for like a year and a half near enough, and at that point you bring them in and they just don't seem ready to be at Celtic, which I'll come on to in my opinions later on. So yeah, talking about the performance today, we talk about the board and all that kind of thing, and the Celtic collective and all the fan forums have got together, and they had a meeting with obviously the Celtic board, which went down in flames, to be honest. And I am totally with the Celtic collective. I think this Not a Penny More is a great scheme. And it's up to obviously the sponsors and obviously Adidas to go to the board and say, look, listen, what's actually going on at this club? Why are we not making any money from merchandise? And that's it. I mean, I don't mind wearing my old Celtic tops, old Celtic gear and stuff like that. I've got hundreds of it, I don't really need to go out there and pure buy the next Celtic top at like £80. I don't need to go and buy this classic Celtic stuff. It's not for me, not until this board either realise that they need to make change or they get to. So anyway, yeah, the board want them out, don't want them in. Either I don't want them in or I just want them to basically change. I want them to basically change the dynamics of running the club. I want them to make sure that the club gets the maintenance that it needs, and all that kind of thing. And I want them to understand that the fans just aren't, open wallets. We all have jobs. We all need to basically pay our bills. We all need to pay our car insurance and stuff like that. We all need to pay our mortgages. We can't go forking out about £120 on a classic Adidas Celtic top. Or like a waterproof over jacket kind of thing. It's just not for me. It's far too much. It's far too much greed, And if you give that money to the board, they'll just not do anything with it. They'll just sit it in a bank, and then when it's their turn to leave, they'll take that money and they'll go. They don't give a crap. They don't give a crap about us fans, and that's it. They do not give a crap. They just want our money, and that's it. Every single time a season ticket comes along, it's just one of those ones where they just want your money. It's a shame because I feel like Rangers fans get that as well. Rangers fans get that, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to bring in this manager, we're going to do this and that, and we're going to get these players, we're going to rebuild every season. And the fans just lap up and pay their season tickets. And, that's at least about £600 a year to go and sit in a park or a stadium that you're not feeling like is being respectful to you. So that's what I'm talking about. That is the way Celtic is becoming. That's the way the board are becoming. They're just becoming greedy. And they're greedy and they're not doing anything about it. So anyway, yeah, that's my point in case. I'm standing with the collective on this one. And I'm saying not a penny more. Absolutely not. I will wear all the Celtic tops, all the old Celtic tops that I have, until there's holes in them, or until there's moss running about them, or until there's like wee stenchy cartoon marks coming after them. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, stand against or whatever we do. So yeah, it brings me on to the result. I'm sorry I've rambled on about the board. I know we've probably had most of these videos talking about the board, but yeah, which brings me to the result today. The unfortunate thing about being fans and standing up to the board is sometimes things can seep through into the team, and because of the negativity towards the board, and players can be human beings as well, so when they read the news or they read the social media chat, they're reading about the disappointment in Celtic fans. And I'm not saying that because the Celtic fans are against the board that they're against the players, because the players, I get it, they're getting a wage and they're trying their best. I get it, I understand it. But that performance today against Dundee, there was just nothing there. And you can either blame the players, you can blame the management staff, or you can blame Brendan Rodgers for that one there. It's just very, very flat. I'll be honest, Brendan Rodgers should have walked when the board were trying to class him as basically someone that was just going to leave the club again. I think he could have took that opportunity, he could have took that open door and just went, do you know what? Away you go. I'm done. I can't get my reputation to come down anymore. I've already been at Leicester and they absolutely just took the crap out of me. And now Celtic are doing it again. They're doing it again to him by not backing him correctly, not doing the scouting correctly. The recruitment has been absolutely terrible. And for me, that opportunity for him to leave should have been then. But now we come on to this result now. The team's very flat. Players don't seem to know what they're doing. Hatate has went off performances. He's no longer playing anymore. He's no longer the player that he was. And I either think that's because he wanted to move as well, just like Maeda, and he didn't get it, but he's staying quiet about it. And I think, to be honest, Maeda and Hatate wanted to leave this summer, and they didn't get it, unfortunately. And I feel for them. I really, really do, because you don't want players that don't want to be at the club, because, again, it comes very, very reminiscent to the 10 in a row season, where the players were told to stay, they got promised stuff, and then they didn't. And then we lost the 10 in a row season because we had Neil Lennon at the helm. And God bless Neil Lennon, he was dealing with a lot of stuff back then. He was dealing with COVID, he was dealing with Bolingoli, hitching a ride to Spain to get his hole, and then he was basically dealing with the whole Dubai debacle. You're also dealing with human beings, and you're dealing with players who miss their families, and like I said, it was hard for him then, so I understand that. But it feels very reminiscent to the 10 in a row season where players just wanted to go, but then they were told to stay, and deals just couldn't get done because we don't have the board or the right people at the front of that stage, so we don't have that. So yeah, back to the result, back to Brendan Rodgers. I think that there maybe needs to be a change. I think maybe there needs to be a freshening up. We stuck with John Kennedy and we stuck with Gavin Stratton for far too long, I think. And I think maybe it will take Brendan Rodgers to maybe freshen up the assistant managers. Maybe bring somebody else in, But then again, it's flustered. It's flustered with people that are there. I mean, why not try something new? Why not put Gavin Stratton in the position of Sean Maloney and bring Sean Maloney up? To me, there's just not enough thought and difference and change. And now they're talking about Ange coming back. I don't agree with that at all. Because if you bring Ange back, then that board will just basically just eat up the Japan leagues and eat up the South Korean leagues again. Because that's where they think they can cut a gem from. It's all a big mess at Celtic right now. It is messy as hell, and there's people not doing their jobs. And I think Brendan Rodgers is probably one of them, to be honest, as well as John Kennedy and Gavin Stratton. I just think they're going through the motions, to be honest. I don't think there's anything there for them to kind of build themselves up on. So yeah, the performance today, from what I've heard from opinions and stats, was very, very flat. Nobody really cared. I think there's problems in that midfield, and I think it's all about the price tag on players again. But you need to pay that kind of money for quality. I think Engels is a no bad player. I really, really do. He's just trying to find that position. Bernardo has just suddenly disappeared for the team again because he has one game against Braga, and then that's him. He's done. He's out. My God. Still waiting on Alistair Johnson coming back, I think. I don't know if he got on today. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, just a surprise about the result. I think there needs to be a change, because either that, you're going to let Hearts get as many points as they can, and which, don't get me wrong, I don't think Hearts have got the squad in them to last to the end of the season, but Leicester won the Premier League. Hearts could win the Scottish League. They could. I know it's only a few games in, but 8 or 9 games in. But at the end of the day, they're building momentum, and a lot of people are saying that Dundee today deserved that result against Celtic, and I believe them. I believe them. If Dundee came out fighting, that's the first time they've beat us in so long at their stadium, and it just seems to be that these are the kind of results that Brendan Rodgers is seeming to be pulling off these days. It's just really, really bad results against weak teams. And let's be honest, Dundee aren't an amazing team. They just fought hard, and that's exactly what happened today. So yeah, I'm not impressed, but then again, I'm not surprised. What can you do? I feel like I'm on here. I feel like I've not been on here in ages, and I've just come on here to have a moan. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Look, listen. It's just my opinion. If you think it's nasty or it's terrible, then please, just let me know. You know what I mean? But the whole talk about Ange coming back, please don't make it a Paddy Roberts thing. He's not coming back. He can't come back. For me, I think he's too old a manager now. He's been through the gravy train. I think maybe he needs to go away to a different league, to be honest. Maybe he should go back to Japan, maybe, you know what I mean, or China. Just something like that, something to just refresh his career, just to sit back. He's made his money now, so at the end of the day, he's managed to get 2 Premier League jobs in the last 3-4 seasons, you know. Or 3 seasons, sorry. So he's got money to burn. So, you know, in that frame of mind, well done, Ange. You've got your retirement money there if you want it. But no, I'm sorry. I love the football that Ange did. It was amazing. But I feel like we need a better prospect. We need somebody that's younger, hungrier, and is going to get these players like kicking and screaming and wanting to win this league. You know, it's for me. There's just a lack of fight, and there's a lack of ideas, and I just feel like we're going to go down the same route with this board, with the management team, with everything that's happening. There's a big divide here, and it's not good. It's not good for the club, but the fans have to do it, because the fans have had too long where it's just the same thing every season, just not recruiting early enough and just not getting the players in that we need to help the manager fulfill his objectives. That's just it. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Moan. I'm very sorry. But you know, remember, doing something means everything. I'm going to try and do more videos and put them on YouTube and all that kind of thing. I say that all the time and I just don't do it. But you know, it's coming up for Christmas. I'm off this week. So, you know, God bless yous, and I hope things change, and I'll see yous later, okay? Love you. Remember, doing something means everything. Ciao.